Today we are headed down to Courtland, Virginia, which is a town in the very south central part of Virginia, mostly farmland, and we have a residential investigation that we are going to. This investigation is going to be on a farm, and evidently there are haunted woods, supposedly haunted by Native American spirits. There are also very swampy woods, and there is a threat of snakes evidently hanging from trees. So it's going to be a very interesting investigation. As you can see, I'm sort of have some unorthodox hairstyle and attire today. You know, sort of trying to think of ways to, I guess, provoke or bring out the Native American spirits and interest them or make them curious about what we're doing and why we're there. So, very interesting investigation, but it's only about maybe an hour and a half down the road. So we will update you along the way.
So we got Linda doing some research, a little bit of on-the-road research as we're driving out here down towards Southampton. And as we're driving along, I have two questions. Where is the nearest Sheets? And why does Southampton have one H?
Unfortunately, I haven't found really any answer to either of those questions. I don't believe there's a Sheets anywhere around here. Pretty much just cornfields, looks like a little bit of soybean crops and things of that nature. And I have no idea why there is only one H in Southampton. Perhaps because they felt like it was just an overuse of the letter H to put two of them in there. It would look a little bit funny to have it in there, you know?
Yeah, two H's, kind of like Scott.
Yeah, and it's kind of unnecessary when it's one word. Southampton, it sort of rolls if it's just one Southampton. People would be more likely to break it down into two pieces if there were two H's there. So I think that's kind of like, I'm not sure if the word threshold sort of follows the same rule and has two H's or not, but you know, there's words like that floating around where it has two consonants back to back, and it's kind of odd consonants. So, you know,
Right.
Who knows?
I just thought the area was maybe called Hampton.
No, it's not Hampton. I know it's definitely not Hampton.
Well, we didn't quite find a Sheets, but I'm sure we found the next best thing, Windsor Food and Gas. And we're going to go in here and have a look at some of the product that they have and see if we can let you know about some of it. Let's go check it out. Found some wrap snacks here. What are these things? Romeo Miller barbecuing with my honey. So I guess it's barbecue honey potato chips. Oh, we found Martin's potato chips. More honey barbecue crunch rigid. Some that I've never seen before. We usually see those up in Pennsylvania. What's going on here? That's interesting, isn't it? Louisiana Heat. Lil Boozies. Alright, so we stopped in Windsor Food and Gas and got some Gatorade. Some interesting products they have in there. Selection of potato chips.
Right.
Plethora of hers.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes,
And which is good.
amount, yeah.
Quite a hat selection.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Some different looking hats. Very different.
Yeah, so we're going to get back on the road here and head on down to Courtland.
that pond. There's a pond.
The face stuck in there.
So my pond leaked out. And I've been out there trying to get...
We're going back to a location, undisclosed location, in the woods, where there has been some activity.
Yes.
How would you describe that?
Faint Indian drums. You can hear them, but you cannot find out the location of them.
Interesting.
This used to be an Indian reservation many years ago. And we're going to go down also an old, where it used to be a train track, went down to clear some trees near a swamp, and they took up the track, and now it's, and there used to be a moonshine still down in there too, so.
Oh, that sounds cool.
So it's all around the same place.
Now, Linda, you did a little research on the way up here to learn a little bit of the Native American language for the...
I did.
Cool.
Yeah, I certainly did. I looked up, there's two different tribes evidently in this area of Southampton County. It was the Nottoway tribe and the Meherans. And the Nottoways had a spoken language that was a form of Iroquois. And they do have a little bit online about the Nottoway language. They had a couple of vocabulary words, a couple of things that you could say or that you could find there, and so I recorded a couple of things, just simple things that we might want to use at one time, like, you know, touch my hand and things of that nature. So we'll have to see exactly what happens with it. My pronunciation of it, of course, is probably not going to be correct, but we'll see.
On that side, but then I have some that comes down.
And here we are heading down the path into the woods. And it is, Linda's right, it is some pretty dense woods here.
Yeah,
Is it not?
definitely.
On either side.
A lot of underbrush, some thickets and vines and stuff. Very cool.
Now, what kind of wildlife might we potentially encounter while back here?
This way, huh?
What kind of wildlife might we potentially encounter?
Well, we have bobcats out here, but they're too sticky. You won't encounter. You'll probably encounter snakes.
Snakes.
Hmm.
I heard there's snakes possibly hanging from the trees.
Yeah, so see, at
So,
this time, baby bird called next and they like to go. I'm gonna have the bird.
Is that a snake falling out the tree? Jeff was.
Sometimes they go up because when they want to, like, they want to get some sun. They go up the branches. It's so dense down here.
Right. So they go from there.
Yeah, you heard of a snake sun? This is I guess this is what people have been using as a horse tail.
Oh.
There's snakes and bobcats and bears.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Is that a...
Oh man, I was getting what the hell is that?
Yeah, you heard that, huh?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was like an engine in the distance or
That's
what.
it sounded like.
Stop, and it was a cow.
Yeah.
Cow got happy. Sense it?
Yeah.
I could sense it.
You kind of get like a vibe, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that that little ridge is there like that.
Yeah, I wonder why that is there.
Out there in the woods.
It's almost like readouts.
Yeah, almost kind of like a trench or something.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Usually sometimes on the other side of trenches, you can find where they had a moonshine still because they built the dirt up the high.
Oh, that would make sense because you found a lack of Civil War activity in this area, didn't you?
I did. There really didn't seem to be a whole lot in the immediate area. There was a couple of, one Union and one Confederate major general who were from this area. But as far as like actual fighting, there wasn't a whole lot in the immediate area, so.
And I'll stay here out of your way.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to stop in this area where there may be possible Native American drums that manifest here, the sound of them. And I'm going to do a sweep around with the EMF detector just to see if there's any high levels. And of course, there shouldn't be any high levels out here, right? There shouldn't be anything really out here that would give it off. So. See the Bridge is a little closer there too. But nothing at first glance. Maybe we should keep this running and do an EVP session, see if anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a good idea.
Sometimes you good man. Try EVP.
Okay, EVP session. Courtland, middle of the woods.
Okay. And we got the EMF detector there pointing that way in the woods, in that direction. Okay. So do you want to set that down somewhere? We usually
Yeah.
try to find a place to set it down. That way
I guess just in the middle of the path here.
that way we don't have to worry about picking up any possible
Contamination from movement.
yeah, or anything like that. Anything like that. And we don't mean to trespass or to intrude. We don't want to be here unwanted by any means. But we heard there may be some people lingering around here. And we want to know if there is anybody here with us. We do have a car passing in the background.
And an airplane flying over.
Could you tell us your name? Could you maybe tell us how many are here with us?
Did you hear that? Sounded like a doo-doo-doo.
We're wondering if you could tell us who plays the drums out here.
A mental,
Like telepathy, kind of.
but it's not called. It's like, but that's not a word that would be used.
Right, right. Okay.
And you'll hear it. Now come over here and sit down.
I heard we are lost.
Interesting.
And he said, Gone to the Wind? Which of course sounds like the movie title, but
It's Gone with the Wind.
right.
Going to the wind is different. Think about you're going to have a fire tonight, and you can come and to the fire.
That noise just got really loud, didn't it?
That's a cicada.
Ah, I like the sound of cicadas.
Hey, when it gets dark, the frogs get
Yeah.
louder. You feeling sadness?
No, I'm kind of confused by something that they said.
What?
Almost like,
Well, say it, because it's broken English, right?
well, what I heard was continue our ways.
Yeah,
But it's more like I'm being told to continue their ways. But
right, because somewhere in your bloodline you've got Native American in you. Sorry. But now you get to know, right? That's why you're picked.
You don't think they meant continue ghost hunting?
no, I don't think
No.
so.
I bet you look up in your history, you got, because a lot of times they hit Native
Yeah.
Americans, a lot of times they didn't, but if you
Yeah.
do.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
All right, so
What do you say?
as you said, there's snakes that are up in the trees.
Well, I mean, they'll go up to low trees, yeah. They'll go up branches, they'll go up for bird nests and
Do
stuff
they
like
poop? Well,
Don't
they're up-
worry about a snake
like-
pooping on you. Then I've never heard of a snake pooping on you.
It'd be
from a
interesting
tree.
though, right? Because like
If
birds.
it does, I hope it does it to you, okay? I never heard of it.
Because
I don't
birds do
know.
it, right? So why wouldn't snakes do it? They gotta poop, right?
Yeah.
It's weird.
I had a pet
Crazy
snake
thought.
one time, and my husband didn't like it. I put it up in his deer antlers and stuff like
Oh,
that. But it was
man.
an escape artist.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to Google this, but I'm thinking snake poop is probably really small. So potentially a snake could poop on your head while you're walking through the woods, and you wouldn't even know because I'm pretty sure. I mean, some snakes are small, so I'm sure their poop's got to be small. I don't know. Interesting thing to look up though on the internet, perhaps. Snake poop.
But I had to go there. Remember I was trying. So were you shocked when I told you he would talk to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You probably didn't believe me at first.
No, definitely not.
So this inclination to go down this path, would you describe it kind of like that gut feeling that you had in Bona Vista? Where
Vista?
we went
Yeah.
outside and went to that back of the yard and pointed at the house?
Yeah, I don't know. I really can't describe it, but you know,
Actually, more natural, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you call it? More like naturally feel like going this way?
yeah, just
What would they?
seems like
judge
the
it?
right way to go.
Yeah, feels that way. When you let it become more natural to you, instead of, because a lot of times you go prejudge stuff, when
Yeah.
you let it come naturally,
Yeah.
it grows better.
Okay.
They wait till the night.
No, because I think all the baby birds are gone.
Oh, okay.
So is this a path?
Not really.
No.
They back when I had 2 baby birds die. Was what they, it wasn't their main secret, but you feel like you're getting sacred.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the spirit box?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Which
it's
is cool.
I think he's got it.
What are we thinking?
Spirit box.
All right, let's break it out. We're sweeping forward on this. I'm gonna set it down here, untouched, and see what could possibly come through to us. Once again, I'm Jeff,
I'm Linda.
and we don't mean to be here unwanted. We don't want to impose by any means, but we brought this device that perhaps you could use it to communicate with us.
Use word talk.
What's that?
Sure. Use word talk better.
Talk. Oh yes, if you could talk to us through it, could you please tell us your name? There's a bunch of stuff that came through.
Yeah.
Just have to see if it's not, radio chatter, if it's something else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I heard that too.
What'd you hear?
Psychic. Can you tell us your name? Rick?
Can you tell us what was here in this area where we're standing?
Male spirit? You said male spirit.
It did sound kind of like that. Yeah.
You'll get a lot, Remy.
It's
But,
interesting.
lots strong, not just what you're looking for. But when
Right.
you're looking for it, will come.
Is this an old road?
Is this the path we were on?
I don't know.
Hopefully. Or another path. Either way, a path is good.
Huh.
So this is a different path than we were on earlier?
Yeah. This isn't the same. Yeah, the other path was off to our right.
If it was the water line, they usually have a government sign on.
Yeah, that was an interesting path that we took down there, because when we were coming out, we heard what sounded like owls, but
Yes.
potentially spirits of
See,
Native
that's
Americans.
the water line. That's the other
Oh,
one. See,
okay.
I told you there was
okay.
another path this way.
Yeah, and that's when we thought we were coming out too. We got a little, when we went in the woods, we came back out on the main path, and then when we stopped up there, we were listening for that, for the sounds that we were hearing, which sounded like the sound of an owl's, but or the sound of an owl.
It sounded
But-
like
But it's
Potentially, yeah, definitely the same sounds that similar to what Native Americans would have made
right.
when communicating with each other, right?
Yeah, it almost sounded like a human imitating the sound of an owl. It didn't really sound like an actual animal, like an owl, but sounded like kind of a woo woo woo. And then afterwards, there was something else that followed it, and I'm not sure what that was. But It was either some sort of chattering or talking. There was something else there. And I now see what she's talking about with this big chicken. She's been talking about the big chicken since we first arrived, and I couldn't figure out what she was talking about.
What is?
There's a big giant chicken down there
A big chicken?
ahead of us. See it?
Oh, okay. I was thinking like, did I miss something because I didn't see a big chicken out there in the woods? But
Yeah, she said big.
yeah, I do see a big chicken down here, and it's what is that?
It's a giant chicken.
Plaster or?
What?
Fiberglass. My mama
Fiberglass.
repaired it.
Oh,
And that's
nice.
a sunflower field, so when they're blooming, it's made magazines.
Oh, that's cool.
That was my yard sale that was up in there that we left all winter long.
It's not every day you see a giant
Chicken.
That's definitely not.
Come
And
by and do selfies
there it
with
is, somewhere out the window there. Yeah, there's the big chicken.
Yeah, this was, I don't know myself.
Well, it's cool. I mean, not every day we get to
Yeah.
drive through a cornfield.
No, not by any means.
So this is pretty cool.
We got visitors, okay? You know when we talked in my kitchen
Mm-hmm.
and I said flash of light
Yeah,
and I told you when to look,
yeah.
okay? You got him fine. I got him too. That's not called getting tune. There. Come over here. Okay. Another you might also see in the corner. See that? Did you see that white flash? Just
Yeah.
that tree was in your way.
Oh.
Now look up in there, you might see blue flash. Did you see one there? I'm talking about little glow, like a glow dot, okay? You're gonna see a blue one, bigger. There, let's go. Blue is gonna be the flash. That's gonna see our flashing, our flash. It takes a moment.
So this is interesting because these lights, when you see them, it's kind of like, I'm pretty sure I saw one over there, and it's kind of like the peripheral test is what we compared it to.
Mm-hmm.
When you
But
look
it's
in that
not a
thing at the
lightning
eye
bug.
doctor, right, it's not like a lightning bug. And you look in that thing and there's like a little light that'll light up for a second and go off. And you'll be looking at something, you know, and you'll see it out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that, and then it's gone real quick.
Yes, real quick. Sometimes it's right there,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's on the view. Because, you know, sit
And I
still.
can't get the thing on video because it's not bright enough for the camera to pick it up, for
Exactly.
one. And secondly, I'll be looking at the camera's view
So far
isn't
away.
wide enough.
Right, yeah.
But that's interesting. What could that, how would you explain that?
I have no idea.
The things you see in a cornfield.
I don't know
huh?
how, scientifically, I don't know how you'd
That's a
how you
cut
could
over.
explain that unless it's,
It's not a plane.
no.
Right. It's
there's
definitely
not.
wasn't a plane, because if it was a plane, you know, we'd be able to catch a glimpse of it and then still see it flying across the sky.
Right.
If it was a star, we'd see
But
that it
see,
was still there permanently.
That's why it was perfect at
You know
this
what I mean?
time, because
Yeah.
it's not nighttime. You can't see it's a star
Right.
flashing.
Right.
It's not too bright to say
Yeah.
it's sunspots. It's the
Yes.
perfect timing.
Yeah.
It's overcast, not clear, slightly overcast. Oh, it's arrived. Oh, I got it. Okay. Blues want to know about you. Now, don't panic.
Okay.
Nothing bad. I'm not going to do nothing terrible to you.
Okay.
But it's called a man. It's like a man link, a man like sorta.
Okay.
And it's like somebody connecting to you,
Okay.
but it's going to cause you to have a headache, head pain.
Okay.
And you too. You're going to have pain in your head. You're going to feel pressure.
Right.
It's not a spiritual attack. It's just want to know you, and it's a way you'll start hearing. Does that make sense? Hearing ETs.
Okay.
Aliens, okay?
Yes.
But it's going to be painful for a little bit.
Okay.
to start now, ain't it? Getting ready to. Not gonna be like migraine, but you'll feel it. I know you're feeling it. Now you're feeling it.
Yeah, I'm almost feeling like pressure in the back of my
But
head.
when you do that, yeah, hold real still when you're feeling it, okay? Because that's creating. And it's also going to be a way of checking you out, whatnot. And then and it's also going to be something else. It's sometimes you'll feel this pressure coming in, and it builds up in your head, and it gets tight. You know, like your brain's getting bigger, and it's just tight.
Right.
But it's like a gift. Abilities.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's not like you meditate to get them.
Right.
These are being put in a sense, but they could take away too.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Because in a little bit, it's going to be such a link that when I say your abilities and stuff will go, it's going to be, I'm not going to say the word funny, but it'll be okay funny. But, because they giggle at me. But see, put it this way, an extraterrestrial giggles, and you got the link, you're going to bust out and you giggle for no apparent reason.
Oh.
When they smile about you, if it's about you, smile comes across your face.
Right.
You just let it happen. It's that type of a connection.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And then I'll talk to you about a move. You know when you're jamming out music? Okay? And when I'm sitting back jamming out, and I would move, and then I just don't, try to do anything, and then actually I'll get and actually feel the movement, something moving
in
my
your
head
head.
to the music and say,
Yeah.
hey, that's how we move.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not always like a full dance or anything, but
Right.
that is what you're going to end up. It's going to happen.
Okay.
And that's going to be cool. It's something you just can't really capture, but
Right. Yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
The pressure's still building.
Yeah, and and I'm almost starting to feel like like they call it the hat band effect, like pain around the perimeter, of your head. And I feel like almost a little throbbing in my head.
But it's about to ease up. I'll know in a second. Yours is eased up already.
Oh yeah.
Ha! See, I know this stuff. See? I'm right, ain't I? You're not lying to me.
Right, no, it eased up.
Because yours was already happening when we were talking too on the phone, because you had to be connected before. You didn't know it, but I couldn't explain it to you then. Not phone, but on the computer.
Yeah.
Because it's like knowing everybody. I'm being told she's funny. We like her.
She's got a sense of humor, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely
And
do.
she's going to know it. And we're going to giggle about her soon. And actually, when that happens, if you let yourself, you actually feel their personality come through you. It's not like possession.
Right.
It's not holding it. It's showing you, in a sense. You can go in. It's raining. I ain't waiting. Ha. Be stubborn. You've got plenty of time tonight. You'll be able to.
All right, so we're documenting a story here. On the way here, Stephanie hit a cow.
No, it wasn't on the way here.
But nonetheless, a cow.
Years ago, when I had a Ford Focus, Megan and I were driving home at like some late hour in the evening on 620. 2-lane road. We were coming up to what I call a triple curve. Goes around
3 times.
Yes, 3 times. And was coming up to the first curve, and then by the second curve, I noticed something in the road, and I swerved. And when I did, we noticed it was a cow. We swerved just in time to clip the nose of the cow with my rear view mirror. And just as right as I clipped it, over in the third curve was another car coming. So I had to swerve back over really quick, missed that other car. So when we came back to investigate where my rearview mirror was, we come to find out that we had actually just hit a cow. And knocked it right in the nose. When we got the mirror back, of course, it was shattered out all over the place. You know, the car was slaughtered with snot and everything else.
Oh man.
So ever since then, we've named that curve, the three-way curve, Bessie's curve.
Like Deadman's Curve.
Yeah.
Betsy.
Yeah, and we've always made the joke that I bitch slapped Bessie and told her to get off the road.
The things that happen on the way to Courtland. Huh?
Yeah. So
But not on the way to Courtland.
not on the way to court, but either way. But yeah.
Okay, so now we're going out to another undisclosed location on the property. Before we turn out the light here, what is the story with this undisclosed location?
I think some bad energy was brought into a room. I went in with the recorder and got a get out.
So some potential negative energy
Yes,
down here in
negative
this place, and I'm gonna go in here.
It's in what they call the master bedroom of a house that's falling down. It's going to be demolished.
Oh, so this should be interesting.
Here.
You can
Well,
kind of
see
see.
the archway here.
Oh yeah, in the middle there, you can kind of see it. There we go. With the high beams, you can definitely see it. And this is the old stone house,
Oh, old brick house.
brick house.
Yeah. And it's got a 3-car garage in that end. That was the sunroom.
What was the activity here?
Negative in this bedroom.
Yeah, something negative in the master bedroom.
Right here, this master bedroom where this fireplace is, right here in this doorway.
What's happening here? Just negative energy.
Negative energy. I think we got it. EVP one time telling us, growl. I think it was a growl, and I think one time we got to get out. But I think the get out came from a baby doll. And I got it in the crate. Because the cat makes its way in here, and snakes can make its way in.
Okay, let me back up on that note. The cat's all right, but the
Because
snake is.
the other night, the person living in the pool house shot. See what I'm saying?
That old TV.
Oh yeah.
He's hanging in here. Didn't you just feel the energy already?
Yeah, you do. You really do.
See, this was my nice furniture here. It's got mine.
Oh
See
yeah.
it? Look.
Oh yeah.
I got from an elderly couple. It was very old, and I stored it in here, and that happened.
Oh, it looks like it's not too bad, except for the bottoms of
Mhm.
the legs. You might be
I
able
can get
to,
the mold off.
yeah, you might be able to saw the bottoms of the legs off. So that not no two people.
See,
are
the
on
guy's
same
supposed to turn off the
section
water
flooring.
when I gave away the refrigerator, and then something ain't right. It buckled.
Right. Yeah, the floor is
I
definitely.
have. This is kitchen. Oh, I got brand new. Look at that. Owenware stuff, brand new, never been used. I stuffed them up there to store them, and now the house is falling apart, and I gotta get rid of them. I can't fit them in my house.
Right. Right.
The cabinets are full. This was full of crystal, and I've been boxing it up, and I have not finished.
Pretty solid through here. Just
Yeah, once you get to that little hallway, it's not quite as
yeah,
bad.
just a
It
little
reminds me
wonky.
of a 70s feel in here.
It is. It definitely is a
very
70s
Brady
feel.
Bunch-ish
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that carpeting back there was a dead giveaway.
I think there's actually an episode of the X-Files like that, wasn't there, where the house was haunted by the Brady Bunch? Or is that something else I'm thinking of? Do you remember
And
that?
look, the termites got so bad they got into the books and
Oh, man.
Oh wow.
So
Smart.
they abandoned this house and let this house go down.
Some smart termites hitting the books.
Yeah, this was the foyer. This piece of furniture I want to get refinished. That was handed down in the family. I got a king size headboard if somebody wants it. This room, the floor is giving out the lamps. You can tell it's 70 feel.
I know it really is.
I want to get the mirror out. There's crystal lamps.
No, not yet.
What is that flying around?
You would be better off paying somebody
There's
to come
something
in here and
flying
move it.
And it's not of a paranormal nature, of course.
Nope.
No,
It's bugs.
buggy.
Wow, look at those old style vents on the
Yeah.
ceiling.
This is crazy. I mean, there's so much stuff in here, and,
And
it
this
just
is
looks
back
like
in the
somebody
day
just
when-
walked away
See,
from it.
That front porch is an archway.
nuts.
Beautiful
Oh, wow.
brick front porch. I mean, it was needed.
I
a new
miss the
decor.
style of
Yes.
ceiling.
Yeah.
They got that stupid.
So we came back down to they call this the master bedroom area.
Right.
It's the first area that we came into when we came in. But we're going to do an EVP session here, and at the same time, we're going to run the Paratech app in the background just to see, because we've had results with that before.
Right.
Where, just to see what the Paratech says, and then to compare it with any EVPs that we may pick up.
Yeah.
To further validate or debunk the app.
Right. We probably will end up turning off the ERS Paratech app, though, because you won't catch any EVPs while the Paratech is running.
Right.
So,
We'll
probably eventually turn it
do
off,
that.
but
Yep.
and do them separately. But yeah,
Absolutely.
for now we'll run them together.
So let's see what happens. All right. So far we got render on the Paratech app. Just booting it up.
Okay.
Do you have the recorder going?
No, it is right here.
Okay. All right. So we'll
I
go ahead
turned it
and
on, but I haven't started.
we'll go ahead and activate that. So that is rolling. And I'm Jeff.
Linda.
Stephanie.
Megan.
And we don't mean to impose in any way. But we've heard there may be someone that hangs out here in this room, and we'd like to know if that's true. We'd like to know if there's anything we could do to help you, and if there's any information we could perhaps find out about you. Is there anybody here with us?
Says help. How can we help you? Ice.
Ice. You mentioned that ice cube tray on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
Very hot in here.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. I don't know if it's any way related, but
Right.
nonetheless. Put some more light on the subject. here.
Veteran.
Veteran. Was there anything about a veteran?
No, not so far.
Doesn't
But then-
look like anybody here was a veteran.
He was. He's a veteran.
I'm a veteran.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All
But
right.
no, I don't think anybody that lived in the house was. At least not that we know of.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
was speaking of when I made the comment.
Try telling us your name. Is that your stomach?
Yeah, that was my stomach.
Oh shit.
Hopefully.
Damn, it's growling already. Reason.
Do you know somebody here that is a veteran?
Feeling better?
Slowly.
Yeah. It's easing up a little bit.
So what happened there?
I don't know.
That negative that negative energy wanted to drain you.
Yeah, because all of a sudden I was standing here and I almost fell over.
I was outside, and then I was thinking it was you. I won't for sure, and I was trying to question. When I question, I always get the wrong. I said, with bow hunt, no. So, and then I always get over to her because I'm thinking she's getting it, and then I can't get rid of it.
No, it's still attached. Because whatever it is, I was standing here like this, and all of a sudden I was just like,
It ain't completely gone yet.
I'm starting to feel better though.
Yeah.
Before I couldn't even stand up. I was just like,
You're
holy
you're
crap.
feeling it pull in your gut. It should be. You would be feeling something in your gut.
I feel it more in my head. Like pulling and pushing up here.
But nausea. Little nausea.
Yeah.
Okay. That one, gut nausea. Yeah, it's attached head.
Good thing Kyle didn't come.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you think it would attach to her?
Oh yeah. Kyle's way more sensitive than I am. Kyle probably would have had it immediately.
Okay, how you feeling now?
A lot better.
Okay, you want. Cool.
How'd you get rid of that? Like, is there a certain method that you use or a certain concentration that you use when you're focusing on it? Like, how would you describe it?
I'm like a conduit. Like it's like I'm told, and I do what I hear to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because
I don't know how to explain it.
And you feel like lighter now, kind of like not as.
I don't feel as dizzy. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall over.
It takes a
Right.
while to build that energy back up. It drains
Yeah.
you hard, big time.
Yeah, because I was standing here. It was really weird because
Oh, wait 1 minute. Wait. No. You can still talk, but I'm going to give you something.
No, because I was standing here and like between my shoulder blades got really, really cold. And I was like, what the hell? So I started looking around and then I crossed my arms while we were sitting there doing the EVP and all of a sudden it was just like I fell backwards. And I was like, whoa, and I got really dizzy.
Now don't get mad at me if you get wired tonight, okay? You're gonna get wired, okay?
Okay. And then all of a sudden it was like I'm teetering, and then that's why I started standing like this because I couldn't stand on my own. If I had let go of this, I would have fell over. And I'm like, what the hell? I thought maybe it was just I was getting hot, but apparently it was something else going on.
Oh, that's awesome.
It
Yeah.
sounded like I gave her some espresso.
Wait a minute.
So, an interesting place, this old stone house, wouldn't you say?
I would.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
It is pretty creepy, actually. The house is falling apart. It's a weird feeling in there.
It is a weird feeling in there. It is. And, we use the app, the Paratech app, and once again, not a whole lot of stock in it. Though we've heard when there's not a lot of activity in a location, it may give random responses. Because we've seen some places where it gave some pretty apparent responses.
Yes, we
And,
have.
towards the end there, I don't know what happened. Stephanie had an interesting experience.
Yeah.
And, we're able to apparently lift that before we move on to the next location.
That was good. Move on.
Of course, we have the EVP recorder going as well, so we'll review that, and any evidence that we find from that, we'll let you know.
Yep.
Okay, so before we go, we're going to walk through the other portion of the house here and see what that's all about.
Oh, nice.
This was so fun to say this. Now I want that wagon. We're going to try to sell that tractor.
Oh, cool.
But
this
I
is the
mean,
garage, huh?
I've been scrapping that one. Yeah, this is his garage. And one time you could not walk in here. He had garbage stacked this high by the door. And then tell him with the ceiling collapsed on top of it. And then there was a bookcase there and books galore and all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
So I've been going.
So this is a cool thing here. The old Ford tractor. That looks like someone was working on it and then just took off and left it. Left it raised up, back tires off. What are your thoughts?
I think it's definitely pretty cool. She said that they're going to try to sell it because I'm sure that there's somebody who would restore this sort of thing. And you can see parts of it actually laying around in other places in the garage.
Yeah, I saw that.
Over here, laying up against the staircase, there's actually the front grill for it.
Right.
And,
Right.
there's the
And
housing
there's-
for the engine is over here.
I saw the housing for the engine. There's another
Yes.
grill over here.
Right.
I think this was maybe one of the front grills here.
Yes. Yeah, that may have been the front grill for this.
So
I
it's
know the
cool.
other
They got
one may-
tractor parts laying all over the place. here.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool.
More.
Oh, okay.
So what I did is I took one from an
And we got a
older
plethora of
Timex
bugs
that had died.
in the truck here with
and it
us.
had-
on there.
Yeah, and it had
Look
like
at
the
them all
gray band.
flying around the light.
kind of,
Oh, okay.
and put that on there, and that's
That
probably
on
the
there.
one that
awful.
you saw because
That
I
probably
just
is.
changed
Look
it.
at 'em.
Since I gotta
I
go
like
down
to watch. I
there.
gotta ask her
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
sometime.
They just come right back.
They don't die. They don't die.
And then it
What?
I had a big old bug eating on my neck. Jeez Louise. Cramming Netley.
All right, so we're on the road here, heading out to another undisclosed location where there's some slave quarters, right?
Yeah, they were destroyed, but the energy is there, and then the big house is up there with some very negative stuff in it.
And you saw something down there at that house, right?
Yes, it's a shadow figure of a man with a floppy hat standing in the doorway.
Oh, interesting. So we're
And
gonna
it-
go.
Close to dark, but it was darker than the darkness.
Right, right. So we're gonna go poke around and see if we can.
You could feel the energy change here because I feel the tingling
It's
in
an
my
eerie
legs.
road, is it not?
Yeah, it's very
Okay,
good.
huh? Rest of the night.
So what's the deal over here?
I don't know. It looks like it's too overgrown to get back there, and especially with it being raining
With
right
the
now.
wet, you're gonna be miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that end is brick, where they tore down the slave quarters. And somebody has not been here. I haven't been here for years, so they haven't even cut this with the tractor in a few years.
Oh, wow.
To see that thick stuff, it wasn't there a few years ago. It was
Right.
clean.
So it's all overgrown pretty good, huh? What do you got? Anything interesting on the Paratech app?
No, not so far. It said demand many. Again, it's saying vet.
once again. So
Yeah.
nothing, nothing completely related. But we only
Right.
had it going for a brief period of time. Unfortunately, we can't get back there. Yeah, let's see. So this is the old farmhouse. Let's pan down the front of it here. Got Stephanie helping me with the lighting.
I just want to see if we can go to the front porch here. I'm going to look.
And thoughts. First thoughts, Stephanie.
Creepy.
That's a good way to put it, of course. And Stephanie's running the Paratech app, which is now saying lash.
Yep.
And Megan, you got the EMF detector there. Anything on that yet?
No, not, I haven't turned it on yet.
So watch out for the hole in the briars.
Okay, I'm going to see if we can find a safe spot. Now, as long as you're on this,
Okay.
now go up close, stay on like that beam, and then go around the pole. Okay, that's going to give, okay. But it's going to hold. And then come this way. Don't go any further. Come this way, and we'll move out the way.
Okay.
So hold us.
So going around the.
Around here. Bugs.
Got stuff around your neck, and is that EMF detector picking up anything yet?
It's not on yet. Hang on.
Yeah, we got to get that thing on.
Now it's on.
I'm
There it
making
is.
sure there's no snakes here.
All right.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
So we'll stay back
Just copy it.
because
You can come. Just stay close to it.
copperheads. What'd you say? Oh for?
Just echo.
Oh, okay.
Now, see, this is where I saw the figure. But that limb and that stuff, vines were not there, but it was standing here. Now,
Standing
this
right
is-
here in the doorway.
It was in this doorway. Black figure. But that was before this stuff fell down and this stuff grew up a few years ago. Okay. Dead. Get your stuff ready. Didn't know what I was doing before I got
Yeah.
stronger.
Wow, this is amazing. I mean, this place seems solid. This place is solidly built.
Mm-hmm.
It's still
Too
in
bad.
such good
I mean,
shape.
they let it go. I mean, it was.
Got you need.
You need?
Yeah. I'm not sure what, but what do we need?
Get the hell out of here.
This.
Do you get that tingle down your that
So everything's completely gutted in here. There's really, I mean, nothing, no furniture, no nothing in here. But,
Nothing. It's all.
but I mean, you can feel the flooring. The flooring is, solid. It's really solid, which I'm amazed by.
The
Even
windows
staircases.
busted.
Yeah, even the staircases look like they're probably in very good shape.
Yeah, it's got another staircase in here. There's one there, one
Yeah.
here.
Scientists.
And is that saying somebody hid there?
Is that the feeling you got?
Yeah, it's like somebody hid there. It might have been a kid. No, somebody hid there.
Is there anybody in here?
Oh, Duke House.
That's a nice little door. Yeah, this is a really old place. I mean, you can tell by the, what do they call this, shiplap board. Yeah.
But it's not covered in spider webs. Do you notice
No,
that?
I know, it's completely
Isn't that
devoid of
weird?
spider webs. It is. I mean, I see a whole lot of wasp nests and mud
Usually
daubers.
you see spider webs in places like this.
Yeah.
There was
Not
more
really.
spider webs in that other house that we went in.
Oh.
The first house you
I
took
got more
us to.
spider webs in my own house than in here.
I know, that is weird. Oh, there's one.
Yeah, there is one, but
There's this interesting
not like we
skull. Perhaps a deer.
No, deer wouldn't be in here. That's a dog. That's not a deer. See the canines?
Oh yeah.
Oh, poor little guy, huh?
Whoa.
Is this a dumbwaiter?
Now, I don't know.
I don't see any of the bones. Maybe the skull. Only the whip. Wow, that's really solid. I'm amazed.
There you go. 2014.
Oh, damn.
But look at this one. It's X marked on the wall, which this, oh, it's where it's cracked, never mind. But I see you.
Oh, man.
Somebody's been up here since I have been. Mush, mush, mush. What's a mush? That ain't a name. So what? Oh, right, I see you. And there's a dog skull downstairs.
Yeah.
So you add this. Somebody come up here since I've been here. Put dog skull and put I see you up here. That's it.
Okay, so we're up here in the one of the upstairs rooms. It's kind of the part that's rounded. Or how would you describe that?
It's like bay windows or.
Yeah, kind of like a Victorian style.
Yes.
Thing. And we got the recorder going here. We're going to try to do an EVP session. And we're going to start saying our names. I'm Jeff.
Linda.
Megan.
Stephanie.
And we don't need to trespass or intrude. We don't want to be here unwanted. We don't want to impose. We simply want to know if there is anybody here. And if there is, we're here to maybe help you if we can. If there's a message that you want to pass on, or if there's something you want, we'll see what we can do. Is there anybody here with us?
Now, just a minute ago, when you were talking and nobody was moving, did anybody else hear the floor move?
No, but I heard footsteps, and I wondered if maybe it was her outside.
She's all the way over there. Well, it could have been her walking now.
No. Okay. Did you feel it? Yeah.
I hear a voice too.
Like you're not moving hard enough, turning around for that to feel that.
I mean, seriously.
Some people do that.
Yeah.
I do it.
Rita? Yeah. Are you still in the house?
Oh, I see her out there. She's.
Do you feel that?
Yep.
I did feel that. The floor moved.
Everyone stand real still. See if we can feel it happen again. Can you make a noise to let us know that you're here?
I've been hearing that though. I'm not sure what that is.
Not hear it. Did you feel the floor though?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I found
You
that.
felt the floor that time?
Mhm. Do you think it could have something to do with just the...
I think it could have to do with the fact that all of us are standing in the center of this weak ass floor.
That could have something to do with it.
It could be the house is settling because there hasn't been any weight in the house.
At least
quite
since
a while.
2014.
Yeah. Maybe I ought to come out here. I'm not going to put my back up against the open doorway, but. Can you tell us your name?
They just got themselves on this.
Why did people leave this house? We
Yeah.
noticed what was it, kind of a wooden deadbolt on one of the doors. We were wondering if you were trying to keep something or someone out.
I just got opium.
Or you tried to lock yourself in the room because you were scared of something outside that was in the house.
I got named Jacob.
Again? Wait, no, it's Jake before.
I got the word 30.
I mean, somebody's going to grab. Don't be shy. There you go.
Almost there. Give it some more energy. Area, this house with us.
If there is, can you light up the yellow?
Nathan.
Who's got the digital voice recorder?
I do.
Can I have that?
Or give us a knock.
Does that say VAPI?
It says vape.
I'll be damned. It's trying to say VAPI.
I think so.
Thank you.
It's heard of us.
Yes.
Diabolical. Ah!
Bugs Bunny would say diabolical.
Oh, I meant to tell y'all earlier when we got out at the slave house, I felt like I had spider webs all over me.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is usually like what, a sign that spirits are trying
Right,
to.
right. I've heard that.
Yeah.
They tend to make you feel like that sometimes. And you wouldn't have been to the point where you like walked through any kind of spider webs, you know.
Because
You
whatever.
stayed out on the street.
Yeah.
on the road.
I just got. Is that Satin or Satan? Satan.
Yeah, Satan.
Yeah, I just got that.
I guess it depends on.
And his bike. Yeah, it depends on how you want to translate it.
All right, so we're heading out here out the front door,
Side in here.
and definitely an interesting location, I should say.
Oh.
I can't say as much for the results from the Paratech app, and of course the EVPs. We have to review the recordings to see if we got any of those. But nonetheless, very interesting old place, wouldn't you all say?
Yes,
I
very
would.
much.
Yes.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of it? Did you have one, or
I didn't have one. I think it might be the whole thing.
the stairs? Maybe it was kind of an adrenaline rush walking up them. You
It
know,
was a little
thinking
bit.
It could collapse at any time.
I think the interesting part was the upstairs room that we were doing the first EVP session and kind of feeling the floor move without explanation.
Yeah, and that was kind of an adrenaline rush too. You know, standing on the floor and it's moving. It's like, is this thing gonna collapse?
Right? Is it settling or is there actually something there with us?
Right.
Nice.
So interesting stuff.
Oh yeah.
We videotape this part just in case anybody falls.
It'll make a blooper scene.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say so we can add it to a
Oh no, it'll
bloopers.
make the actual video.
Really?
Probably.
Okay, that's not gonna work. Here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Much better.
Too bad.
Arms.
Here we are at a 7-Eleven somewhere near Smithfield, maybe?
Smithfield, yeah.
Not 100%
Probably
sure,
close,
somewhere around
yeah.
there. And we wrapped up our investigation of an interesting couple of different terrains and such that we trekked through tonight.
Right.
Wouldn't you say?
Definitely. I mean, it was cool to be able to go all these different places and do a little investigating in each of them. That's not your typical residential investigation by any means.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And what we'll do is we're going to go back and of course, review the recordings and such. And anything that we find, we will post. Check out our website, vaparanormal.com. Instagram at Virginia Paranormal. Stuff will be up there if we find it. If it's not up there, it means we didn't find it or we just didn't get around to reviewing it.
Yes.
So one of the two. or we reviewed it, found it, and didn't get around to posting it.
Right.
But nonetheless, thank you for joining us for this episode of Gas, Grub, and Ghosts. I think that's at least, I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to do with this video. It's kind of a unique one. It's not like our typical Gas, Grub, and Ghosts.
Right.
It's not like our typical investigations. So
Yeah.
whatever we put it onto. Nonetheless, this was a window into a day in the life of a ghost hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Till next time, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Linda.
And thank you for watching.